Hi everyone, welcome back, or welcome, whichever it may be. I am Kim Beigler. I am the owner of Ewethful Fiber Mill, and I am sitting here in the wool mill. And I missed last week because we had the ice storm here in Oregon. So we were just chugging along without power for several days, and making this video did not seem like the biggest priority, even though I missed you all. So we got through, the animals got through, we had no animal losses. That's the extra fun of it, is that you know, just a lot of frozen waters and breaking through waters and trying to safely get to the animals and making sure the animals are safe. So we're all here as a good reminder of how much we love having power, because where we are, we're on well, so when you lose power, you also lose water, toilets, all that. So heat, we didn't have a backup heat source, so it was a bit, but we did better. We still have neighbors below us that I think they're going on like day 12 of no power. So we are grateful for all that we have, and we are here. And before I forget, here she is. Ooh, she says, I did good too. And before I forget again, I am wearing, this is the sheltered, I think it's called the sheltered poncho by Andrea Mowrey. It's knit in Brooklyn Tweed. I think it's their sheltered yarn. I knit this before I ever had the mill. It also has a hood on it. So it's a poncho. You can do with or without the hood. And you can do seamed or not seamed on the sides there. What I love about this poncho is that it fits really well with a coat over it. But I forget about it. It actually didn't come out last winter at all because I had it tucked away in my bin. So anyway, welcome you all. This is a vlog about wool and knitting and all the things. So I have a couple new just items to show you that are in the online shop, and then we're gonna cut to Calliope talk. But I will say, if you're not knitting on the Calliope with us, we're doing a knit along, the youthful community, some of us, not all of us. You're still in the community if you're not doing the knit along, but there are some other helpful, just like knitting tidbits, just fun. It's just a bunch of us having fun talking about this knit, but there are other golden little nuggets you can pick up for knitting quick tips in there, or it may inspire you to knit this sweater, if not now, then down the line. But it is not too late to join the knit along if you are interested. So first, I wanted to very quickly show you, I was gonna show mill videos and all these things. I thought our Zoom was gonna be quick, but then as it turns out, that was funny to think that it was gonna be quick. So I can't remember how long we were on for, but it was too long to make this episode that has that and has mill videos. So next week, I'm gonna show you what's been going on inside the mill, which was Fiber Club. It was my first go around, not my first, but it's been years since I processed merino. Some beautiful merino fleeces I got down when I was in Lambtown in Dixon, California during the fall. So I will show you me processing that, which was, let's just say I'll take a break from merino for a while. But the fiber is beautiful, and if ever you're going to work extra hard for a fiber, this was some of it. So I'll show you that, and then I have some other things that are coming off the carter, and I'm trying to slowly get the online shop restocked again with fiber because it has gotten really low with hand spinning fiber. So I'll be working on that. A few new things in the online shop since I was on last. We carry Ewetopia. They are a wool mill in Wisconsin. We carry their Sustainawool. It is a DK weight wool, and I've got two new colors in. So here is this beauty. This is called Blue Skies. You're gonna see a theme. All the yarns I'm about to show you go really well together. And this is their natural, this is oatmeal. So this is natural colored, Blue Skies, oatmeal. So I have two new restocks in that yarn. We have got our Ewetopia, and then a new color from Making Tracks that we have got in is, this is their stick season. Hi. Those are beauties together, aren't they? So in the online shop now, fun. Both of them are next to Skin Soft, and lovely, lovely, milled in the US. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show you, and this is very exciting. I carried this a while ago, and it's been a while since I restocked, but in Fiber Club, they got a packet of this with their fiber this month with the merino that they got. So I have got some, this is Abundant Earths, their wool tincture dyes. These are acid dyes that they, when you get a kit, and this is like a little kit, there is basically what you need. You're just gonna need, other than this kit, you're gonna need water, hot water, and like they have you in a mason jar. So whatever's gonna work for you to dye with, but it's super simple because all you really need to do is the citric acid is in here and it's already pre-measured, and the dye is in here and it's already pre-measured. So all you do is warm up your water, drop your dye, your citric acid in, and add your already soaked yarn. And it's very simple. So if you have been nervous about doing some acid dyeing, or if you are just tired of going through all the steps to acid dye, which it's not that much, but this does definitely make it easier, then you may be interested. There are a whole slew of colors, and they're in the online shop. And each pack, when you get one of these, it will dye about 7 ounces of wool. So, and they're really beautiful colors, easy to use. So head to the online shop if you have any interest in those and get yourself some dye if you are ready to start playing with dyes. Okay, I think that's where we're at on just the quick updates in the online shop, in the mill shop if you're coming in. Calliope. So if you are knitting along with us, we have a really good Ravelry thread going here. I keep saying, and it's so true, I'm sort of at the tail end of everybody's knitting. If you have not cast on yet and you still want to, come on in. If you just want to come in for the fun, come on in. This is just to have fun and to get people excited about knitting a sweater, and to keep us each chugging along. The wonderful thing, if you start now, is that you can read through all the notes and skip all the things that everybody's made mistakes on, which is what I'm having fun doing. There are a couple, this sweater could be for a beginner sweater for sure, especially because we're all here to kind of guide you through the steps. But I also have another video that I'm going to pop in before we start the group. There we go. Before I start the group video is just a quick, I wouldn't say it's a tutorial, but it's like a how to do this section of the sweater so it makes sense to you. There's a German short row part of the sweater. Do not let that scare you off. Don't let it scare you off if you read the thread and people were having issues with it, because we've all gotten past it now and we know how to guide everybody through it easily. So I made a quick little video that goes along with watching a tutorial on German short rows. It's really easy, I promise you. So I'm gonna play that before. I just wanted to mention too, the goal was to have this sweater done by March 15th. You all, I will not have my sweater done by March 15th. So don't feel like you have to finish it. It's just fun, it's just fun. We have prizes. And I think what we decided was we would just, like, as long as people have joined in, we'll just draw randomly to win all the different prizes so that we don't have to judge. Then we don't have to do the judging of the winners for different categories. So it's very easy to join. You have to make sure we know you're in, whether you're on YouTube or in the Ravelry thread, you know, knowing that you've cast on, send us a picture. It's super easy. If you're in any of my other Zooms that I do, I'm sure we'll talk about it. So it's fun. It's a fun sweater, and it's just fun. So, okay, I think what we'll do is we'll jump to that. We're gonna jump to the quick little video I did on the German short rows, just so that when you get to us talking about it, it makes a little more sense what we're talking about. We talk about it, but it's not laid out quite so clearly, hopefully. Hopefully I help you all. And again, this isn't just for Calliope. If you are doing a pattern that calls for German short rows, this video is gonna help you. So yes, it will, I promise. There's good nuggets. So stay tuned. I will see you at the other side of this. All right, thanks for watching. See you in a minute. Okay, I wanted to talk about the Calliope. We'll talk about it in the Zoom, but I wanted to show this just laid out because if you're a visual person, this may make more sense if you decide to do this pattern in the future or you're working on it and haven't gotten to the German short rows. I'm not going to do a tutorial on the German short rows because Very Pink Knits, she refers to it in the pattern and it's a great tutorial. I'll refer to it in a minute just as how to put it into this pattern, but I think there are two things that were getting people a little bit mixed up. One is that you are knitting across the shoulders when you do these German short rows. So what I did, and the designer says to, use a different marker for your bind or for your beginning of your row, which I've got here. I would say maybe also use a different marker to show your back. So what you can see I did here is I have two more metal or at least more ornate stitch markers, and this is the back of my sweater. The front of my sweater, I just used these plastic ones. So I know between this plastic one and this plastic one is my front, and that between these two more ornate ones, this is my back. So you're knitting across, right? So it says, I think when you start, you knit up to here, which is your left shoulder. And then you are basically doing your German short row. So it's just one stitch. When it says make German short row, you have to take that tutorial of that one stitch, do that, and then it will start you turning backwards. And then you knit back across that left sleeve, across the back, and you'll knit across the right sleeve, and then you'll do another German short row. So this is why it was really helpful for me to know, okay, this is the back. I even wrote a note on my pattern, like plastic stitches equal front, metal stitches equal back. And I think it's those two things. Taking the tutorial and applying it, it's just that one little thing that you're applying to this when you do that German short row. And then also realizing that you are knitting a significant portion. You're coming up, then you're going back, and you're knitting back around. So you're not knitting the very front when you start, but it helps to know where that front is. So I hope that helps a little bit. Sorry if I was a little out of camera at points, but I'm doing this from behind. Okay, feel free to comment or jump into our Ravelry thread because there's a lot of discussion about this in the youthful community. Okay, see you in a minute. All right, well, let's just start. I'll start.
Okay, great.
Hey.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, everybody, we're here with Tammie. I don't know how anybody can see, but Tammie, Elisa, we had that discussion at the mill again for everybody that doesn't know how to say her name. Elisa. There's a at the end. And or you can call her whatever, just not a bad word. I feel like
It's not a bad slang lady word, yeah.
Okay, there. And we have Wendi with us today. Wendi is a ray of sunshine, and she's flying on her sweater. So I thought it would be fun to bring you on. So everybody's at different stages, sort of. I don't even know where, I have an idea of where Elisa is, but Tammie, let's start there with where everybody's at.
She's probably done. She's on her second sleeve.
I'm
She
not.
had friends in town, so she's been busy.
I was busy. I was at the coast all weekend. I'm actually thinking that I'm going to take out my raglan increases. I don't like them.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been looking at it, and I've got this weird little bump right about here. That I just don't like how it looks, and it's on every single one. And I'm somehow
now I'm looking at mine.
It starts right there, but somehow I'm not getting. I'm only.
I think you're
on one side.
I think you're off a thing because mine are.
Yeah, I think I am too. Because mine looks a little crooked.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take it out. So this will make everybody feel better who thinks they need to frog from here to here. So
if it was fun to knit it the first time, it's just as fun to knit it the second time.
It's just knitting, right?
It's just knitting. That's what we're doing. We're knitting because we like to have yarn in our fingers and do the
So
thing.
I think, well, you know what I think happened, and I didn't take this with me to the coast because we drank a lot of wine. So I knew that would not be probably a really good thing. But
might lead to some misshapen shoulders or something.
yeah. So I decided, I was kind of thinking about it before I left. And now that I'm looking at how it's coming out, I'm like, I just don't like this. And you know what? I've learned with my knitting, if you don't like it, you won't wear it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So why it's, you know, I'd rather have it the way I want it. So, and I feel like maybe I wasn't increasing correctly because I was only increasing. So you come up to your marker and you do that knit one front, knit one back, and then you knit one, you slip your marker. Are we increasing on the opposite side of the marker?
Yeah.
That's what I did wrong. I didn't get that increased on the opposite side of the marker.
Yeah.
That would give you really skinny sleeves. Be like,
Yeah. Well, I thought there's not enough stitches on here and I'm ready. I should be ready by now to divide for the sleeves. And so
yeah, that one, those instructions were interesting because it didn't, to my mind, it didn't feel symmetrical.
You're right.
It's because you make that last increase on that very last stitch. So
on the other side.
Yeah.
You're doing one on one side and one on the other side, and it adds up to the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Row marker. And then you go all the way across and then you have to do this increase here.
Yeah.
And that's what
that's where I got thrown off. Because I'm like, why am I only doing one on one side of the marker and then I'm knitting all the way across to the next marker and just doing one and then knitting? That made no sense to me at all because
it didn't feel symmetrical. I agree.
Yeah. All the other patterns I've ever knit with raglan sleeves feels like, you know, I kept looking back at other patterns and I finally last night looked at it and I said, nah, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to allow you to frog back because that makes sense now.
Yeah.
I was like, otherwise just go for it.
Yeah.
But maybe not with that one. That's a pretty big,
it's a big one. Well, I will be knitting for my sleeve divide for forever.
Yeah.
It will never happen.
Yeah. And the raglan, that's a very visible line.
Yeah.
It's not a subtle feature. Like that's you see that line.
You want to see that definite.
Yeah.
So what's yours look like, Wendi? Let's see yours.
Well,
you finally got your yarn figured out.
I did.
So you have to say Wendi had a shipping mishap. Oh my god!
Holy crap!
So
okay, wait, do that again.
She's flying.
Okay, do it again.
Are you on the bottom?
I am. So I got this much. This much ribbing.
Crazy. You've been knitting hard even since I saw you.
Halfway through the ribbing.
That's impressive.
And then the sleeves, of course. But it's so fun.
It's so squishy.
So you got a ton of mohair in the mail, I saw.
I did, and I returned that.
Oh, good.
Because, and I feel bad because somebody got my order. I got somebody's order and somebody else got my order. And the yarn was beautiful, but it was not what I had intended for my sweater. So I sent it back and got my money back. And then I went to the little yarn shop in Lebanon and did my shopping there, which was fun.
Oh, there you go.
Good.
Okay. Wow. I didn't know they carried Rowan. That's exciting.
They do. They have a ton of yarn in there.
Okay.
And I'm really enjoying the collar, which I think that's kind of what sold all of us on the pattern.
I think so too.
And this one, so I'm on size 6 needles, and this yarn is, once I wash it and block it, it's really going to relax. So this to me seems like, well, that's the back. Seems kind of small for a
That's
collar.
what I was worried about too.
But this yarn is really going to relax. So it's going to be quite a bit. It's going to look more like it's supposed to, I think.
So did you use 6 for the collar or 6 for the body?
I did 5 for the collar and then 6 for the body. And then for the ribbing on everything else, you're still using your main needle. So it's just the collar that's smaller.
Oh, that's really good that you pointed that out, because
I read that.
think
I read that in the pattern.
Good
Yeah,
job.
I did see that as well. So yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be really fun.
Oh, and I'm thinking, so once I get to the sleeve, I'm kind of toying with, do I want to add like a little cable or something on it? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know, because it is, you
It's
know,
a vanilla sweater-ish in that you
Uh-huh.
can add those embellishments if you want to.
yeah. So maybe we'll see. I probably won't. It does have a nice long cuff, which I think is going to be fun.
And I'm wondering if I might, because I like 3/4 length sleeves, you know, I'm always pushing my sleeves up. So I'm thinking I might not do my ribbing as long, but then I'm thinking that might look kind
because it's long. It looks like a good 3 and 4 inches, maybe.
It like starts way up here, I think.
It starts way up on your forearm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Elisa, let's see yours.
yeah.
Okay. I want to say what Allison's going to do though with hers. So she's worried about running out of mohair, and it's a particular mohair. And so she got that gorgeous mohair from your shop this weekend. And what she's going to do is the bottom ribbing, she's going to pair with that, and then the ribbing on the sleeves. So it'll be an accent. Isn't that fun?
That is fun.
I think
you
that's
could
fun.
also, this was a different pattern, but it seems like holding 2 strands is kind of, I'm seeing that in a lot of patterns these days.
Yeah.
And some folks have only done like the mohair on the sleeve. So it's a little bit see-through, a little lighter weight, a little heavier.
Oh, interesting. Like they just were knitting single on the sleeves. Oh, wow. That's fun.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I did last winter. My winter knit was the Magnolia Chunky cardigan. And that was 1 DK strand and 2 strands of mohair.
Oh, wow.
And that sweater is, I had wore it this weekend and I'm like peeling it off. I'm hot, you know, so it's a really warm sweater. I love it though.
Well,
came in handy recently.
Yeah, no kidding.
I wore it the whole time last week.
I am using Life in the Long Grass. It's the very first time I've used their yarn, but I've always been interested in who they are. And so mine is not very exciting compared to Wendi.
Oh, pretty.
Very
pretty.
I will have to say, I think that I just have so enjoyed the collar as well. Like that was such a fun, and it's just easy and relaxing. So if you haven't, I mean, people talk about if you want to do your first sweater, I would say this is an okay one to do your first sweater with, if you know how to do increases. I am almost done with the front, back, and sleeve increases, and then I'll just be doing the front and back increases, and then we'll split for the sleeves before the Ides of March. Okay, I had to say it again.
And you're just using DK, right?
I am just using DK. Yeah. This is
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
what is that fiber? Because it looks like it has a little halo. Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Tell us.
Oh, I have to get the readers on. It says it is ethically sourced. That's nice. Non-superwash, untreated wool. That's all it says.
100% wool. Probably.
Yep.
Maybe there's some.
Oh, sorry. Corriedale, and Merino.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if the Corriedale adds any halo or not.
Must be adding a little bit. Must be.
Do you have a special yarn filter on Zoom here to make stuff look like your yarn?
Yes.
Big pop.
Yeah.
So I was thinking we should talk about those German short rows a little bit for people who haven't gotten there yet.
I haven't gotten there.
Here's
Where are
mine.
they? Oh yeah, I did those already. That's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did.
Look at yours. Oh,
That's really pretty. I love that.
That's gorgeous.
It's not as red. It's more, it's more pinky than it is red, but it still is outside what I usually knit with color.
I like it. Hold that up under your chinny. That is going to be beautiful on you. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
I like that.
So I did a little, just a short, like I laid out. So I'll do that after we talk in the vlog. I'll put in the short little video I did of the German short rows. I didn't do a tutorial on German short rows. I just simply laid my thing out and kind of showed what, because I think from what I can tell, the two big issues, and I think it's a lot of people that are newer to knitting and newer to knitting sweaters, but that's not to say that it wasn't a little like think before you knit, right?
You have to think.
But and then if you're like not, if you're newer to it, I think, but the two things that it seemed like were how far forward, right? That you were doing the shoulders and the back. Yeah, like you were coming. So I did a video that I laid it out and I'm like, so because you're knitting forward and then you're knitting back and then you're knitting all the way. And I think
all the way.
Yeah. A lot of people. So you're coming up to here.
Yes.
And then also, if you're new, especially, I think it's hard to go from a tutorial where like the very pink, it's a great tutorial, right? But if you're like new, you're like, but where? And then you go to the pattern and you're like, it says make German, like it's just that one stitch.
It doesn't match. It doesn't line up.
Right. You're having to take just that one stitch.
It comes up to like here.
Yeah, it comes up really.
I mean, it goes really far.
Yeah. So I kind of showed that in the video just for anybody behind us that wants to make it, because I didn't do a tutorial. I said, go to the tutorial, but be aware that you are it's one stitch, right? It's one stitch that you're doing that German short row. And I think it's hard to take it from the tutorial and put it into that where where it says make your GSR. It's one little thing.
Well, and I think what
slip and go.
Yeah, I think, and Wendi, you did a great diagram.
I'm such a nerd.
No, I thought it was great, but I was looking at the very pink, whatever where they sent us. And if for some reason it just wasn't jiving with what I have done in the past, because I did not realize this pattern had you go all the way up here when before I've done them, it's just, I do Marie Green patterns. It's just on the back.
Right.
Yep.
The other thing that I learned with Marie Green patterns is she had to use a removable, like one of those little safety pin markers to when you do your, you pull your stitch over and it looks like two stitches. So I was putting one of those safety pin markers in that stitch. So as it pulls over and looks like two stitches, then you've got it safety pinned. So when you come back, you're not just knitting one of those stitches,
that double or whatever,
knitting those both together.
Yeah.
And that way you don't forget where you're at.
Right.
Because this is a very long process in knitting this sweater. When normally it's like, oh, it's just one row, or two rows or whatever. This goes a long way.
And you're knitting so much, right? You're doing it 5 times, the repeat section, and then you're doing it. You're basically knitting all the way around the sweater by the end.
Yeah. And
so you're building, you're adding to your sweater at the same time as you're building that little wedge in the back.
Yeah.
That is unique.
Plus the raglan.
The video that I watched, I'm trying to look back.
Plus the raglan.
Raglan after?
No, you're doing raglan during.
Okay.
During
rows, you're doing both
rows.
Yeah.
But I think it was Brooklyn. I have it in the Ravelry notes, but I think it was Brooklyn Tweed that I found that it was a really good tutorial. I think I posted it in the Ravelry group. I'm going to see if I can find it and make sure.
Yeah, anybody who's watching, there's been a lot of action in the Ravelry thread, so you can go there.
Yeah.
So to get like lots of people's comments or thoughts or where they were. Beautiful diagrams.
Yeah. I'm thankful that it actually did have a longer short row repeat because the collar is a little bit higher. So I do want it higher in my back than I do in my front. And I don't want anything choking me. So, I mean,
agreed.
It's purposeful. It's not, it's part of the design for sure. It's just like,
yeah, I'm trying to look for that, but it'll come up.
And just about any garment is going to be like that. It is bigger in the back. So that's what we're building. And so it's,
I kind of want to say a really good pattern is going to have that in there.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
and I'm not saying that Tin Can Knits is not doing a good job. They just want you to make a sweater, but there's not the short row shaping. But once you've done this a few times in other sweaters, you can go back to those basic sweaters and put the short row shaping
And modify. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I can't find it, but I know
if
I
you're knitting
posted
for
a
your
link.
husband, then don't do it.
They won't even know.
I did refer to.
They don't know between front and back.
What?
Oh, that was something I did talk about in that video. And I know, Wendy, you did something else. And I just.
Yeah, I still have a little piece of yarn in there.
This is the first pattern where I really was like, no. And I said in the video, like I had I used plastic stitch markers in the front. To mark, like, so and then I wrote it on my notes even, so that I was like, okay, the front has the 2 plastic ones and the back has metal. Somebody in the Ravelry thread, I was like, oh man, that's great. They had the stitch markers that had the F and the B, so they could just have the F and the B like in the middle. And then Wendy, you put yarn in yours.
I did.
Help me remember.
I just a different kind of stitch marker for
I was actually thinking I kind of want to find stitch markers now because of this project. It's like, sleeves.
So if you're a former middle school teacher though, F and B is not really fun.
Oh, okay. How about L and R?
Okay, sure.
Just to keep track of my sleeves, my sides.
So how I can tell for everybody else, this is always my trick. Where is my cast on long thing? And I know that this is the back.
So I weave mine in so fast. Like
No.
there's no.
Wendy?
It's gone. Oh, that's gone.
Yeah, well, then I understand why you need an F and B.
I did.
I like that. I mean, I like to not have to, I don't even like to have to go look to where my thing, like I want it to be so clear for myself. But I like what you did with the plastic and the metal. For me, it worked, but I was like, and then when I saw the F and the B ones, I'm like, even less thinking.
Yeah, I just have a really big one, and then I hang a weirdo like.
Yeah, I use a unique.
And I know that's my back.
Okay, let's see your unique markers, please.
Oh, so I showed mine.
That's that one. That's just for the back.
This is Solstice Stitches. And she's from Washington, and she's friends with Kathy Dixon.
Oh, okay.
She came to a Black Sheep gathering.
Oh.
The other thing though is that it's important to be able to read your knitting at some point. And so I think the stitch markers, and then having made so many sweaters, you start to be able to read your knitting. And instead of weaving my ends in, I actually weave and put a little bow in the back. So I know where the back of my sweater is. You'll find like little bows.
Oh,
that's a cute idea.
Yeah.
I know a needle runs through it makes special stitch markers.
Yeah. I know.
A little turtle.
Yeah.
Mine's I don't know where this came from. I think somebody sent this. It's a little, well, I attached more things to it because but it's a little sweater on needles.
Oh, that is cute.
And then actually I'll show, just because my other front one or my other back one was Amy sent this to me. Comes to the mill and she's one of.
Oh yes, I enjoy Amy.
Anyway, she sent that. Cute. So I was using that.
So I found that link. It is Brooklyn Tweed, and I have it in the notes in the Ravelry thread. And I found that to be more helpful than the Very Pink Knits one.
Okay.
It's the guy that's narrating it, but it seems like he just kind of slows it down, which is really helpful.
Yeah, Very Pink Knits has some of her. She has edited quite a few of hers that are super slow.
Yeah.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, I know the German short rows. There's a slow one, a slow version.
Is there? I normally like hers and I watch them, but for some reason it just wasn't clicking for me. So you know how some people just learn differently with other verbiage. For some reason it made sense with this one. So if somebody can't get the Very Pink Knits to make sense, look up the Brooklyn Tweed one.
Cool. Well, I'm going to watch it anyway.
Good. I want to see in it's in the notes. I'm trying to figure out which one it was in.
For anybody who is thinking about knitting this, I kind of want, and then the video that I did, like for especially new knitters, I don't want anyone to be scared away by the German short row thing, because it is super easy, right? Like it is actually a super easy, like it's mind blowing how easy it is to do it. It's just putting it together. And I think between the Ravelry thread and and what we're talking about, and then the little video I did, I think it all.
I hope so.
And then here's the part you can edit out, or you could skip them.
Or you could,
well, you don't have to do it, or you could do a wrap and turn. The only thing with wrap and turn is it's slightly more visible, where the German short rows, I think, melt into the fabric. But who cares if if someone is looking, how many knitters are out there? Not that many. And we're just going to be excited to see a pattern we recognize.
Well, and I have skipped them before because I'm like, I really don't want to do this. And it was some other sweater I did. And my sweater turned out beautiful. Yeah. So
we do have one Jen, who had emailed me. She's a newer spinner. I think she's in Ohio. Anyway, this is like her first sweater, and she only started to knit like a couple weeks ago. So she's a crocheter and she's knit little things, but so I was like, which is part of why I did the extra. I did the extra German short row video in part, Jen, for you when you watch it. So that, but she's cranking. She was already at like she was moving along in her ribbing section, so that was awesome.
Great.
She's doing it.
Well, in the past,
socks are next.
Sure about a technique, I will just cast on a few stitches with waste yarn and practice it a little bit. So you can do that too. So
all in all, I mean, really the biggest things I've heard, like Allie, if you're watching, I think Allie said she cast on right away and she was doing the wrong amount of knit and purls, so she had to rip back. So watch your knits and purls, right? And that
was my biggest challenge so far, honestly, is my muscle memory wants to do knit two, purl two, knit two, purl two.
And then all of a sudden you changed.
Yeah.
And then you change. And so that, the German short rows, obviously. What else? Is there any other catch that anybody's run into? I know people moving forward are talking about things like modifying the sleeves so that they're not so wispy, making them straighter, or not straight, more form-fitting, versus, because this sleeves are pretty straight and flowy. And I know some people were debating, or some people in the thread were modifying, and they had already started modifying when they were doing the sleeves as they were splitting for the sleeves.
Oh, okay.
They were modifying. I can't remember. I think somebody was doing, she had made less stitches as she was starting to work on the sleeves. I don't know how.
So she wanted her sleeves to be tighter? Okay.
Because they are, I mean, because Judy has already knitted it. She's out there in the world. She's in one of the groups and she's already knit one. And she said the thing, which Tammie, you may want to think about, the thing that she was modifying the second time, and I wonder what she's doing. We'll have to ask her. She likes to push up her sleeves all the time. And she's like, they're too straight to stay up the way the pattern is.
Oh.
Like you can't just you'd really have to push them up because they're so loose.
So it's not like it doesn't taper. Like it's too.
It's just, I think it's just straight. I mean, they're pretty flowy sleeves.
So no decreases then? I haven't gotten there.
It doesn't look like it.
I'm looking at the pattern right now.
Well, I think at least they're certainly not balloon sleeves.
No,
they're not balloon, but you can they're pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. Not, like down.
Well, it's
they
an
are
oversized.
So. Yeah, I'm looking at the pattern right now, and I don't see any decreases in the pattern. Oh wait, it does say decrease. Oh, it's very small amounts of decreasing.
Okay, so something to think about. I know somebody, at least one person, and maybe I'll check with Judy and see how she's going to modify hers, because she's already knit it once, and that was her big thing. She said she loves the sweater, but the sleeves for her, she's like, I end up only wearing it when I'm going to go somewhere like nicer, or where I'm not going to be, where the sleeves aren't going to get in the way.
Right.
Of what? So anyway.
Okay, well, that's good information. I'll be a while before I get there because I'm going to be flipping out.
Somebody was, I think, I can't remember who, somebody was like halfway through their body and they were like, as soon as I finish this skein, I'm starting my sleeves and then I'm going back to the body.
It was like Christina.
Yeah.
from
I
the
was like,
coast.
that's a clever way to keep
Yeah.
yourself off Sleeve Island, right?
She actually, I think, was doing a modification on the neck as well. I noticed in the Ravelry thread that she didn't like it coming up so far. She wanted it to be down kind of like this neckline.
Well, I'd
And
like to read her notes on that.
yeah, it's in the, I think it's in the Ravelry thread. I remember seeing what she was doing. She's a one from Yachts. Yeah.
And Allie was doing the opposite, where she wanted the neck up higher. So she was knitting, I think she was knitting the first section of ribbing longer. Basically, she was knitting longer before starting any increases.
Okay. I'm
So
worried that this might
and I
bother
think
me
Linda's
if
doing
it
that
comes
too.
up too much. I don't like anything that I'm like, so
You
we'll
can
see.
cut it off and pick up stitches and knit up.
But I'm thinking, yeah.
I mean, worst
see.
comes to worst.
I do like it though. I've tried it on. Because I
have
was
you?
worried because it looks small and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, this is too, but then you have to remember you've got lots of stretch with
Lots
that.
lots of positive ease.
Yeah.
Mhm. Wendy, have you tried yours on?
Uh-huh.
Does it look good? You
And,
happy?
well, I am happy. It is definitely like it seems pretty wide, but I figured when it relaxes, yeah, it's gonna be a comfy sweater. It's gonna be kind of a little boxy, but I think I'm happy I picked size 3 to work on. I think that was good.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I'm doing a 3 as well.
Okay, I'm doing whatever you're doing.
We're doing a 3.
Okay, I'm doing size 3 too. Kim, are you doing size 1?
I'm doing size 1, which we'll see. It leaves
I
me
almost did 2. I'm glad I did 3 because I'd rather.
I was on the fence. I almost went to 2, and then last minute I said, I'm just gonna do 1 and we'll see how it goes. Because it leaves, I didn't want it. I definitely didn't want as much positive ease as she had in there. And so this gives me like 5 inches of positive ease. I think because I've just knit, the last couple sweaters I've knit have been more boxy and so it's like time to go. I want to wear this as just like without layers. Underneath. So
yeah.
I did not swatch. So I went with the size 3 because if I'm off by 3 inches either way, I don't care.
Yep.
Elisa, that's you're wild.
And I'm like the crazy swatch lady. You have got to swatch.
I think Wendy and I did the same thing. We both swatched and then we were like, okay, that's not the right needle size. We'll just change. And then I started my sweater 1 down from what I swatched at.
That is exactly what I did. I learned from my swatch and
still learning from this one. I just can't keep changing needle sizes. So I make an educated guess after I've got 1 swatch. And I figured same with mine. If it's too big, I've already gone smaller in my size. So if I'm knitting too big, then it's fine. It's just as more positive ease. So Tammie's like, oh my gosh, you two.
I even soaked it and like blocked it. So
that's what I was gonna ask you.
That's like that's extra mile for me. Yeah. That's above and beyond.
I did that too. And I did my swatch in the round. You know,
I know that's right. And I did not.
Yep.
But I like this swatch.
Is ridiculous.
I love swatching.
I swatch when it's going to be a more fitted sweater, and I have not worked with yarn before, and I really care. But mostly, I know. And then Kim gets my cast off, so she should be happy I don't swatch.
She should be happy with this.
It works for me, except that I'm like, could you just swatch? Somebody said at the mill, they said maybe just have Elisa start rolling her cuffs. That way, by the time they get to you, the sleeves are not 3/4.
I even do 3/4 for myself. So yeah.
That's funny.
What else? Oh, gifts. Does anybody have their gifts on them?
I do.
I don't know what categories we want. I mean, obviously first to finish, right?
Okay, so oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
So cute.
Oh, I love that.
No, look at that. Is that a little fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
I love it. So we'll have that as 1 gift. Elisa,
so you have to preface this with during COVID.
These match. They match.
Oh,
That's gorgeous. Oh, that's
So-
from
Greenwood.
yes, Greenwood Fiber Works.
So I have to say that during COVID, I went to every one of her Saturday sales that she had online. I bought a lot of Greenwood fiber.
Oh,
And I do have a lot. This is 100% Falkland. I loved her pigtails. So, oh no,
Yay.
if you can see that.
Gorgeous.
So we'll have that.
And I
Maybe
do have
that's for
that.
the,
I do have more. I don't want to do overkill. And if you say, I don't want to be weird, but I do have two more.
oh,
And
cool.
this is
Sweet.
merino, camel, and silk.
Pretty sure that's for my birthday. It's in April.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I'll give you any of that. I have spun this and I really liked it, but it felt like I was spinning a Barbie movie.
Oh, well, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And then this one
This is it matches my hat.
Yes.
that works too. This is Polworth black bamboo and silk. It's just the colors are just
Oh,
super bright, but they
beautiful.
are really pretty.
Beautiful.
You
And
know,
I
That
was
looks like
just-
Mardi Gras.
That'll be fun.
it's
I was
called
just-
arcade.
I was just
Mm.
telling in Fiber Club Zoom. I think that's what I was on. I was talking about Greenwood's fiber because it's some of the best top to spin. I mean, by far.
Mm.
And I actually talked to her because if you read inside her description, she talks about how the fiber is pre-drafted.
Oh, you were
Yes.
telling me about that.
Yes. And so that is when I asked her about it. So if you've watched any of my mill videos, you know, like when something comes off the carder,
That's
so
beautiful.
good. When it comes off the carder and then it's going to the spinner, I run it through a draw frame before if I was making yarn, but people can go back and watch one of those videos. But so the machine, that draw frame that I'm using, she has the very same one. They just modified it a bit. So after they dye the top, they run it through that machine to loosen everything back up again.
Smart.
Hand spinner, which is
Oh.
amazing.
Oh,
Because
That's
when you get a
fabulous.
lot of top, it's compacted
Yeah, it's
and it's really, sometimes it's felted, sometimes it's just so compacted, it's a nightmare. But Greenwood stuff, you open it and it's just like,
I know.
Mm.
Wow.
nice to spin. So that's why they're going the extra mile and they're really not charging that extra mile.
no, they're not.
So their prices are good and it's beautifully dyed and they're going that extra mile. So
Wow.
pretty
And in
and
2020,
they said they used to hand pre-draft before they got that machine.
Oh my
oh my
goodness.
gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm like, what a great service for hand
Wow.
spinners that they were doing that.
Well,
So-
I think in 2020, she didn't charge a lot for her fiber because she wasn't going to fiber shows. Nobody was. And so she would do a once a month Saturday sale on Facebook and she knocked down prices so much. And it was just so, and I kept joking, I'm getting prepared for retirement. You know? And I have a lot. And so I haven't, you
so
know,
it'll be fun.
yeah.
so
So
I
it's
can't-
I'll just share it.
Is there
Oh.
another reason what's another? I mean, I came up with hand spun. I think one person was knitting with hand spun that I know of, but I'm sure there's more. But one person in the thread commented, and she was actually knitting it with, I think it was the Shetland Pygora that I've done at my mill, which is gonna be,
I think I saw that on Ravelry.
oh man, it's gonna be epic.
Oh man.
First to win, I mean, we could do one for fun color.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something else? What's another good one?
I don't want to be a judger. I want to be a giver.
Yeah, I don't want to judge it, but that's the hard thing is what
You know what
people
I
do.
would do is I would have people, I would just do a drawing from the threads
Yeah.
Okay.
or finish objects. Maybe we need to do a semi-object or finish objects and just pull from there. And then
Yeah.
if people are interested in the fiber part, do that
That's a great idea.
separately.
That's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Because I think even
Well,
if you
first to
start and you
finish.
only get the collar done, I think that's still amazing. So
We're all
I
winners.
think they should at least have started it.
Mhm.
oh yeah, you have to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
first,
Okay.
I'm kind of like
That sounds
you.
good.
we even
And
have an
I
end
have
date?
a,
Yeah, do we?
Yeah, do
have
we
a
even have an end date?
yes, March 15th.
oh, you did. Oh, shoot.
Tammy, you and I decided that in our Instagram.
I remember that now. I remember that.
I
We
don't
decided
remember.
March 15th.
I was struggling on that Instagram trying to even
That's
get
the Ides of March,
a
everybody.
video.
Yes.
We
Maybe I need
we
to
were
send
like,
you a
just,
link about that.
let's just say 2 months, basically 2 months and 2 days. And I have one of those Lumos neck lights that will be one of the
Oh.
gifts.
Oh, that's a good gift.
But lots of us have seen them for those of us.
I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
I love them. I keep one in
They're
one
so
bag
good.
and one in another bag.
You cannot have
So
too
much so
light.
Alice went out and bought her 2.
Mhm.
Did you know that? You missed that, Tammie. Alice was
Oh.
inspired by you and she bought her set.
Oh, she's so sweet.
I know.
Well, you get one, and then I went to go check out because I was just getting one, and they go,
And they give
"Oh,
you a
by
discount."
the way, you can get another one for 60% off." Well, why would you say no to that?
I know. That's why I have an extra. I think I ended up buying 3 because they just keep giving you another. And I'm like, well, this will make a good gift. And then of course I'll do fiber or yarn for one of them too from Ewethful. So,
So a lot of prizes. Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
there'll be a lot of prizes, but there's a good amount. And then I know there are people that are not on Ravelry. I know some YouTube people are doing it. And actually, even in Fiber Club, the first 10 minutes of Fiber Club, we didn't talk about Fiber Club. We talked about the people that were on. There were 5 people that were knitting the same sweater. So it was
Oh,
like,
good.
10
Yeah,
minutes
because I
like,
missed it because I was traveling.
we missed you. We missed you too.
We had so much fun. We just
Good.
had a blast, and no gallbladder, so I could eat
Oh, that's right. You're
nachos
all
and have a glass of wine, and life was good.
good.
Yay.
Good timing. Good timing. Well, cool.
That's
Anything
awesome.
else? Does anybody else have any other comments? Anything else to throw in?
think so.
Well, this is really fun. And I imagine we're going to be picking another project once we're done with this one.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a spinning. I was like, it would be fun to do maybe it's
Yes.
smaller on the knit end, but spin a lot. So encouraging people to spin and knit with their
do like a bat to hat.
Oh, yes.
back to hat.
Bat to hat.
There we go.
Well, a bat, I've never done that.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do a bat, but you would be spinning for your hat.
Encourage people, like have a smaller knitted project so that people
Yeah.
don't have to spin forever. And a lot of people have a hard time knitting with their hand spun. So just to encourage people, or even to encourage people, like I have not been on my wheel for a couple weeks because of Nigel and then the ice storm. It was too cold to sit at a wheel in my house. So sitting at my wheel this week was like, oh, God, I've missed you. I've missed this, like the calm that it brings, right? And so it just encourages people. And I wanted to say also, people were somewhere saying how much fun they had watching our last Zoom, and they were like, "Oh, I want to be your fiber friend, one of your fiber friends. You guys were so fun." So everybody is our fiber friends, right? And if somebody wants to jump on here with us,
I'm so glad Wendi joined us. That's
I know. I know. And I was like,
taking off of us.
I love you.
everybody can be fiber friends, even if you're not in the area. And if somebody wants to jump on the next one that is working on this sweater, then just send me an email or message or comment.
Yeah,
on
message.
and we can get you in here too.
Cool.
Yay. All right. I think
So
that's
keep-
all we got
Keep
there.
us posted on Ravelry on the
Yeah, there's a lot of action on there. If I don't go on a couple days, I kind of got off because of the storm. I was like, oh my gosh, trying to catch up with what everybody's doing. So
I missed it all weekend, and I finally opened it up today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to look on there. And then I saw what Wendi had done, and I'm like, oh, that's beautiful.
Yay. I think it's I was saying it's nice to be at the end for some. I know a few people were just casting on now, and I'm like, score, because oh, it's great to be at the end of a knit along because you get what everybody else has made a mistake on. It's like, oh, you can just read through the pattern a lot easier.
Well, I figured we'd probably pick up a lot of people in January because we'd said winter, and basically, I'm sorry, we've had some winter.
And I know some people are still just casting on, and I am not very far, so you can still cast
plenty of time.
And you don't have to finish by whenever, and you don't have to start by whenever. So just start a sweater.
Yeah. Just come knit with us. That's what we're saying. Just come knit along.
Exactly.
Fun.
All right, you all. Thank you all again. We'll probably maybe try to do it again in like 2 weeks or so. See where everybody's at. Keep everybody moving along.
Yep. Now that I know the end
We
date.
don't want to put it
Except
in
for
our
Wendy's
project
already
bag.
beat me. Oh my god.
I don't want anyone to put it in their project bag, God forbid, and then stick it in the corner and then it's there a year from now.
No, we keep
gotta
moving.
keep everybody going, including me, because I have no.
Yeah, I gotta rip mine out. I'm gonna rip this out today and move on.
Yeah, so cast on with Tammie again. So Tammie's casting on again. You just cast on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip
Join
mine
her.
out to up to where I have the bumps, because that's the
Yeah.
I think that's the German short, where the German short rows ended.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
she'll
and
have to rip
I know
those
it's
out.
time to wrap up, but are you going to pick up the stitches and then just rep back from there? Is that what you're
Yeah, I'm gonna just. That's what
I'm
I'm
gonna pull it out and grab them.
Yeah, and then I'll grab them
Oh,
up.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of those stitches.
Plus, you got some mohair in there. That'll help.
Yeah, there'll be mohair blowing through the whole house.
F and B, you got stitches.
You got your F&B.
You could say that.
All right, we better get out of here before the F and the B's get real, man. All right, I love you all. I love you all. Thank you for doing
Good to
this.
see you
with
people.
all of us.
Love ya.
Yay.
Love you guys too. We'll
Have a
see you
good
next time.
night.
Night.
Bye. All right, see, that was super fun, right? We all had fun doing it. If somebody out there is doing the knit along with us and they want to jump on into a Zoom with us, we'll probably do one again in 2 weeks. Just send me a message and we'll make it happen so you can jump on and add your 2 cents about the pattern or what you're knitting there. So thank you all so much for joining me. I will be back next week. I will have plenty of mill videos and also hand spinning videos. It has been a while since I've talked about hand spinning and it is time. I actually haven't been doing a lot of hand spinning because of my dog Nigel recovering and then the ice storm. It was too cold. I just wanted to sit under a blanket and knit. So I'll be showing you some of the projects I've been working on and a new project that I am starting up in wool top and kind of how I'm prepping the wool and everything to spin that. So there will be fun coming up next week as well. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you want to join the knit along, pop in and join the knit along. It's fun, it's easy, and it's a great, just fun thing we're doing. So until next week, everybody take care, stay healthy, make so many pretty things, and oh my gosh, please, please, please be kind to your neighbors. I will see you soon, and thank you so much for watching.